Alrighty, guys. Let me let me turn this down. Alrighty, guys. So, I want to do this live stream for you. Oh, that looks cool. Alrighty, so, let me shut down Bon Jovi here for a minute. Alrighty, guys. So, in today's session, in today's live stream, what I want to talk to you about is I want to talk to you about how to approach your trading, how to approach how you enter these markets and how you think about these markets. And this conversation has come from the approach. Now, firstly, guys, hello. It's me on camera now today instead of doing the charts. The thing that I want to share with you today, guys, and I want to walk you through today is how to approach oh, Daniel. Yeah. Oh, he just said that he likes that book. Yeah, it's pretty deep, isn't it, Daniel? It really is. So the thing is I always say people who invest into the markets, if they're self-aware and they're willing to what's the word for it? Yeah, they're just very self-aware that they're willing to go through personal growth, that the stock market is the best personal development course on the planet because you can't hide. You cannot hide from the markets. Anyway, guys, before I do start, guys, make sure you head on down to mastertraderlab.com to grab your free trial to the membership. And also, some of you guys have been asking about my coaching program. This is actually the book that I give all my private clients, the highest probability trading system on the planet. And I walk them through everything of my trading system. So if you're interested in that, just send me an email and I'll see if I can put you in. Anyway, guys, so I want to talk to you today about how to approach your trading. Now, the reason why I wanted to do today's video, and it's not going to be a very fancy topic and all that sort of stuff, but for people who listen to me, it's going to make a big difference to them. And I want to do this session today based on a conversation I had with some of my private clients today about how they're approaching the markets and how they're thinking about the markets and how they're thinking about their trading. And I was talking to them today with my private clients, and I was sharing with them and I was talking to them about how they really think about their trading in a nutshell. Like, how do you really think about your trading and what you're doing? And I said to him that I start off by saying that it's so important that you have the framework of a successful trader. Now, the framework of a successful trader simply means that they never get into positions based on what they think, hope, or fear the market is going to do. Now, whenever I've gotten into trouble in the markets, I've always gotten into something when I thought it was going to be a really good successful trade. Whenever this is going to be, I'm going to turn this 10 grand into 100 grand or whatever, or I'm going to turn this 25 grand into whatever. You know what I mean? Like, that's where I've always gotten into trouble in the past in the markets. Now, I was explaining to my private clients, I was explaining to them that when you're trading the markets, when you have your trading system, the only way for you to truly move forward in the markets long term is to have your trading setup of what you want to look for, and just be patient and wait for the best setups out there. So I was telling my private clients today that they need to wait for the A quality setups. They need to wait for those really good quality setups and only take those setups. Because here is the thing. if you think about your trading, if you take your trading from now to say the middle of this year, okay, now to the middle of this year, I guarantee you that 90% of the people, actually probably 95% of all traders who trade this market at that point in time would say, I overtraded. I guarantee you, I overtraded. I got into things that I shouldn't have got into. I traded when I shouldn't have did. I was impatient. I tried to force it. I tried to rush it. I tried to make money really quickly. And now I'm just behind. And now I'm just behind. And I just wished I was at break even now. Right? So we go into trading trying to make a lot of money. We're trying to force it. We're trying to rush the process. And we only end up going backwards. And 3 months, 6 months down the track, we say to ourselves, if I just slowed down and waited for those good quality setups that I know that work, then I would be so far ahead right now. And I tell all my private clients, if they haven't had a trade for 2 months, they're ahead by default. It's like, what does that mean, John? It means that if you've been trading the markets for a long period of time, or even for a period of time, you know, right, that the number one game is to try to just keep your account where it is right now and grow it, right? That's the number one game. What stopped you from growing it? Overtrading, impatience. It just comes back down to that. Overtrading really does come back down to patience, impatience. Now think about this for a minute. Okay, think about this for a minute. That's why I always say to traders, and wherever I get muddled up in the markets, is that whenever I get into something based on what I think will happen, hope or fear. Now, when we try to rush the process of trading, and I was saying to my private clients, if you look at your trading as a whole over, say, a 6-month period or even a 12-month period, say this time next year, call it Christmas, New Year this year, I guarantee you that 90% of the people that are on YouTube or watching this live stream or watch this replay or watch this video later on, 90% of the people out there are going to be worse off. So I always tell my clients is that if you are not trading right now and you haven't taken a trade for a while, and because there hasn't been any good quality setups, then you are so far ahead of the game compared to most people. Because what are most people doing? Most people are getting impatient. I haven't had trade for a day. I haven't had trade for a week. I haven't had trade for a month. And so therefore, most people, they try to force it. They try to rush it, and they only end up going backwards. And it's so interesting, guys, that if you look at that, if that's applied to all areas of your life, all areas of your life. And you got to think about, I talk about the framework of a successful trader, but really a framework of a successful person. Think about what I'm saying here, framework. A framework is, what is your framework? What is your thinking behind the action you're going to take? What is the thinking behind the action you're going to take? Because whatever you're thinking, whatever that thought is, it's probably, you're probably, if you're based on fear, like for example, I'll give you an example here, non-trading related. Okay. Something personal happened to me just recently. And this morning I wanted to, I'm doing this recording right now. It's 3 o'clock in the afternoon here on a Tuesday, my time here in Sydney, basically New South Wales in Australia, for you guys that are around the world. And I wanted to take an action today, this morning. I wanted to take an action today, this morning, based on fear, based on that I was afraid I wasn't going to get what I wanted out of this situation. It was a personal situation. So therefore I wanted to take an action to try to control the situation, because I was fearful that I wasn't going to get that situation. And now if you think about what I just said there, whenever we are approaching life, including trading, if we're going to get into something and our framework is that I'm doing this because I'm fearful. So if you're fearful that you're not going to make money, so therefore you try to rush it, you try to get into things like, I haven't had a trade for a while and there's not going to be any trade, so I better get in right now. Or if you're fearful of missing out. And so I had to ask myself today, based on that personal situation, if I take this action, is it really going to help me? If I take this action, is it really going to help me move forward? What is my intentions? What is my framework behind the action that I'm going to do right now? Is the action trying to force something to happen a lot quicker than it's meant to? And if the answer is yes, then I need to not do that action. So I didn't do that action. And I feel so much better today now because I didn't do that action, because I know by me doing that, I'm trying to force something to happen that is only going to happen when it's ready to happen in my life. So therefore I had to step back, and sometimes in life, if you think about your life as a general, and this applies to trading, right? If you think about your trading, ask yourself, is your, what happened there? All right, there we go. Are you about to take a trade, or are you trading right now because you're trying to make a lot of money really, really quickly? Are you about to place a trade because you're fearful of missing out? I'm fearful of missing out on the crash, so I better get in now. Are you getting into a position right now? Are you trading right now? Or are you getting into a trade right now? And I need to make some money, so I need to be trading. Can you see how that framework is not helping you flow? That framework is not helping you flow to allow the results to come. And one thing that I've learned more and more and more in life, and there's a balance here, and that is less is more when it comes to a lot of things in life, and just allowing time as well as consistency to allow it to happen. And if you're patient and you just allow time to naturally allow it to work out, then you will get what you want. So that's what, it's so important that if you think about, someone said a long time ago, I forget who it was, but think about this, think about your journey as a trader, okay? Or any area of your life. Think about this. Think about your journey is like the train of enlightenment. Okay? And you're on the train of enlightenment and it's moving. You're going, you're making progress. But you being in that train and running around like a madman is not going to get it there any quicker. So relax, it's in the bag. Because if we can just slow down and only take those good quality trades, only take that, then 3 months, 6 months from now, we are well ahead of most people out there, because they're getting destroyed because they're getting into things based on what they think, hope, or fear. So it's really important that when you are approaching this market, that you think about that sort of stuff, that you think about, we have the charts and we have the graphs and we can do the trend lines, support, resistance, peaks and troughs, all that sort of stuff by looking at the market. But if you are trying to force the situation, remember, 6 months from now, we are going to arrive somewhere in our life. The question is, your actions on a day-by-day basis are going to get you at a certain place. If you continually every single day rush it, force it, get into stuff that you shouldn't do, you're only going to go backwards. And it's been so self-aware, like I was saying before with my personal story, that I wanted to do something to try to force something to happen. And I knew that that was only going to cause me to go backwards and not forwards. By me not doing anything and allowing time to do what it needs to do, I'm actually moving forward. Which just sounds weird, I know. It's like, how are you moving forward by not doing nothing? Once again, guys, I always tell my private clients, if they haven't had trade for a whole month and their account is still at break even right now, and it was the exact same account that was last month, you are a legend. Because why? Because most people are getting killed right now in this volatility. They're trying to predict the crash. Now, yes, I've done videos saying the crash is about to start. Now, when I say about to start, that means it's getting to the area where it's now likely to start turning. It might not be now, it might not be straight away, it might not be this week, but it's getting to that area where the Dow Jones is right now anyway. So think about that with your trading. You're over trading, your impatience, and you being fearful that it's not going to work out. If you have that framework, then you're never going to move forward in that way. You know, you're never going to make the true progress you want. Because every time you try to force something quicker than it's meant to happen, you only go backwards. Only go backwards. So this is a bit of a different topic here, guys. But I was really thinking about this a lot today, and I was really thinking about, you know, what are some things that you guys can start to do? What are some things that you can start to move forward in life, and how you can start to apply this to your own trading and start to apply this to your own analysis as well too. But it's so important, guys, of how you think about your trading, because once again, guys, if you're based on fear, based on you trying to force something, based on this, you're just trying to make something happen, you're only going to go backwards. My coach always says to me, less is more on the markets. Less is more, less is more. Because once again, guys, I guarantee you the trader that only takes a few trades, maybe a few trades a month, maybe in a few trades over a period of a couple of months, is likely to kick most people's butt in the markets. Why? Because he's probably only taking good quality setups. I've only taken one trade this year, and it was a very nice profitable trade for me. You guys may have seen that in the last couple of sessions. Very nice profitable trade for me. Guess what? I'm up. Most people get destroyed this year already. Destroyed. Try to pick tops, try to pick bottoms. Now, what was that trade? It was based on my trading plan. It was based on my trading setup. So remember that, guys. Remember, the train for enlightenment is on its way to you. And the more that we can just relax and say, it's coming. It's coming. I just need time. I just need to allow time to happen. I need time to take care of this. I need to show up every day and do my bit, but I need to wait. I need to let time take care of this. I need to wait and just not try to force it, not try to rush it, and allow things to happen there. If you do that and you apply that to your trading, or you apply it to every area of your life, you'll start to see that things you start to gain a lot more momentum by taking your time and thinking about stuff and contemplating and saying, what's the right action? What's the right steps? And then take that action. Every time you try to rush it or try to force it, think about your framework of you taking that action. Because there's two types of actions. There's a towards action, and then there's an away action. The towards action is that you're doing something that's going to help you move forward, right? By saying, okay, yep, this is the right time to get into a trade, or right, whatever. And there's a away action. The away action is simply, the away action is simply that I'm doing this because I'm fearful that this is not going to work out. I'm doing this because I'm fearful that I'm not going to make money. I'm doing this because I'm fearful of whatever it is. So I'm trying to make it happen I'm trying to take action to make it happen because I'm fearful right now. And that will always bring about the exact thing you're fearful of. Always. And so when you're trading the markets, think about that. Think about, your framework of how you approach these markets. Because if you do, you're going to have an amazing quality year, an amazing, amazing, amazing year in the markets. So that's basically what I wanted to cover today, guys, in today's session. I hope you enjoyed some of this thing. This is one thing that most traders just don't get. You know, I do a stock market update and I get 50 people into the market update. I do a mindset session. There's like 15, 20. But that's just the way it goes, guys. For you guys that really hear what I'm saying here, you guys know it. You guys know of experience even some things in your life, right? Like if I just slowed down and just did what I needed to do without trying to force it or rush it and allowed time to take place whenever I needed to, then, then everything will be fine. Everything will fall into place. One of my mentors, he said, the most important thing for you to know what you want, the most important thing is for you to know what you want. The most important thing for you is to know what you want. And he said, then the how is none of your business, because the how will show itself. Now, I'm not going to get too much into the whole visualization side of things, but there is a lot of science behind visualizing. I have so many examples and stories of how things that I've written down on a piece of paper and thought about it, and 90 days later it happened. So many stories, so many stories. And I don't know what it is, guys, and this might be a bit out there for you guys, but there's something with that power of tapping into that on a continuous basis, thinking about something, thinking about it, and then boom, suddenly things come together and it just happens. So not only that, but that there's proven that if you continually visualize something in your brain of the result you want, it triggers the reticular activating system. So now the brain starts to get any information it can, notice things that it may not have, to help you achieve your goal. So that may be helping you realize that you're overtrading. So I'll give you an example. I've been visualizing something now for probably 4 or 5 months, maybe a bit longer. Not every day. And I haven't had a connection. I haven't had like a deadline to this. I'm just like, this is what I would like to happen. And I didn't say I want it to happen now. I didn't say I want it to happen in 2 months. I said, this is what I'd like to happen in my life. And so I'd visualize this one thing. I visualize this one thing, personal thing in my life. And I just thought that would never, ever, ever happen in my life. I thought, there's no way that's going to happen. But every now and then I would visualize this thing and I'd see it in my mind what I wanted to see on my computer screen, actually. I'd look at this thing and I'm like, boom, that's where it is. And I'd see it in my mind. I'd see it in my mind. I'd see it in my mind. And just recently, the last couple of weeks, certain things came into play to make that thing happen in my life. And I'm like, wow, that is incredible. And it just blew my mind away, because that thing that came into place to make that certain thing happen was like, it just was like, it was not likely to happen. So think about that, guys. And again, I know this might sound a bit out there, but think about what you really want in life, and then start to put that into place in your mind. And one of the best things that I can say, guys, that I've learned from a lot of my mentors, is that it's so important to incorporate a meditating process. The reason why that's so important is because we need to learn the ability to be able to stay calm under high pressure environments. When trading is not going for us, or things are not working out well for us, we need to be able to stay calm. And in that calmness, we need to be able to think clearly of what we need to do to move forward. Meditating helps you and conditions you to be able to bring yourself back to a calm state, to be able to think clearly, to be able to move forward. And with that thinking clearly, you make better decisions, and your life flows on a lot easier. That's what I've found anyway. So let me go through some questions here. Where's my cursor? There it is there. Hi from Canada. Love the mindset stuff. Trading will make you a better person. Oh, I tell you what, trading is so humbling. I tell you, because if you're very anxious, if you're very, if you're too emotional, if you're too excited, then the market will bring you back down, and so on and so forth. If you have a lot of fear that you're not going to make it, you're not going to make it work, then that will start to show up in your trading. There's so much. The stock market, or investing in the markets, in any markets, is the #1 best personal development course on the planet. It had nothing to do with me. It had everything to do with the system, or the market was rigged, or whatever. There's always something inside of us that we can learn. If you take very less trades, do you go all in? If not, what is your money management? Harish, this is one of the biggest myths out there. They think more trading equals better results. I'm telling you right now, it doesn't. Because I guarantee you, more trading equals less of a success rate. So for me right now, my A+ setups give me a 90+% success rate. There's not a lot of them throughout the year, maybe 1 or 2 a month that come around, sometimes more. But if you are looking to be very active in the markets, now by default, your win-loss ratio is going to go down from 90% to 70% to 60%. Somewhere around about there. Even a 70% win-loss ratio. Now, the problem with that, and the reason why most people don't understand this, is the more you trade, the lower the win-loss ratio. The more that you need to accept up front. If you have a 70% win-loss ratio, you need to be able to accept up front that you can have 2 or 3 or 4 losers in a row and it be okay. Most people can't handle that emotionally. But that's the facts around trading. If you trade a lot, it's a lower win-loss ratio, and you need to accept the fact that there is a thing called a loss in the win-loss ratio, meaning you could take the setup and experience that. That's why, for me personally, I can't trade a system like that, because I'm an emotional person. I cannot have 2 or 3 or 4 losers in a row. It just hurts my confidence too much. And I guarantee you, for 90% of you people out there that are watching, you're the same. I guarantee you that if you have 2 or 3 losers in a row, you start to question the trading system. You start to not take trades. You start to be nervous. And now the system may work over, say, a period of 20 trades, but you didn't work the system properly. That's so interesting. And so most people think the more trading you do, the more money you're going to make. It's the exact opposite. The more trading you do, the more mistakes you're going to make, the more you're just going to go backwards. You're going to get out when you shouldn't. You're going to double up when you shouldn't. It's just a barrel of monkeys. It really is. I've been there before so much. I have the t-shirt for that. So, no more than 2.5% of your total account per position. Yeah, sometimes more, depending on how confident you are. Like, I'm happy to go up to 20% of my account on any given one trade. Now, why I say that is because I know 90+% of the trades that I take are going to be successful. Probably like 95% of them. Like, I very rarely do I have a losing trade with an A quality setup. It just doesn't, it's not likely to happen because of the type of quality setup it is. Now, yes, I accept up front that I can have a losing trade, but because I know my system, and I know my success rate, which is this one here, the highest probability trading system on the planet. Can't show you guys too much. Because I'm so confident with that, because I've traded it for so long now, I'm happy to put 20% of my trading account on any given one trade. So if I make 100% return on that, or 150% return on that, like I did just recently, my account's up 30, 35%. But I've only taken one trade. Think about that for a while. Now, if you ever want to get into a position where, if you ever want to get into a position where you have the potential to become a 6-figure trader or even a 7-figure trader, you need to have the ability to be able to put on good position sizes, right? Dollar terms, and while having good risk management. The only way for you to do that is have so much confidence in your trading system and see how it snowballs. Anyone can go from a $5,000 trading account to a 7-figure income in 5 years. Anyone could do that. But the question is that not many people are willing to go through what they need to go through that process. Because that's the hard part, right? The hard part is only taking those A quality setups. If I just said to you, here's an A quality setup, just take this throughout the entire year and you're likely to do really, really well, even with a $5,000 trading account, before you know it, you made 200-300% return on your account in 1 year. And then the next year, and then the next year, and then before you know it, snowballs and snowballs, and before you know it, you're making 40, 50 grand a month. You know, on average, that is, on average. Not every month, guys, not every month, but if you look at it on an average, if let's say you have a 12-month period, some months might be really, really good, and then other months you might be pretty flat. So that's what I'm talking about on average there. Which brings me to another point, by the way. Most people think that they're trying to make an income every day, or they're trying to make money every single day in the markets. That's not how it works. Trading is all about only taking the positions that when the market tells you. How do you feel about scalping? Mohammed, why would you want to scalp? Is it because you're trying to trade a lot? You're trying to get in and get out. You're trying to get every single move. You're trying to scalp so you can trade a lot, so you can make a lot of money. I don't think that's going to be a long-term successful strategy. Why? Because you're trading a lot, and through that trading a lot, now you're likely to make a lot more mistakes. So that's what I think about scalping. Why don't you trade against the trade? You're probably saying trade against the trend. Why don't I trade against the trend? Well, the question you have to ask yourself, when we're talking about probability here, okay, talk about probability here in the markets. If you look at any chart that is clearly trending, either up or down, if it's going sideways, that's not a clear trend, right? So I did that. You must understand this. If a market is clearly trending, either up or down, where is the most highest probability trades going to be? Is it going to be with that clear trend or against the clear trend? Do you know what I mean? It's like, that's why my trading system is only when we have a clear trend in place. Like someone is clearly in control, meaning the buyers are raising their prices or the sellers are lowering their prices, but it's clear. It's not in this sideways movement and there's not much going on. It's very unpredictable, very volatile. Could be up one day, down the next day. That's very unpredictable, very low probability times. I don't want to become part of that. I only want to be getting into trades when I'm starting to see a clear trend. And when I get a clear trend, I'm looking for a clear setup on with my trading setup. And that's the reason why, because remember, guys, it's all about probability. I want the highest quality, highest probability trades. So I'm not nervous to put on 50 or 100 grand per trade. You know, or, you know, eventually where I want to get to is where I'm not nervous about doing a 7-figure trade. You know what I mean? Let's start like, you know, even a $10 million trade. If you ever want to get to there sometime in the future, that's going to start with your ability to be able to only trade something that's going to give us the highest quality trades, highest probability trades. So, and that is the foundations of how the markets work. Is if you look at any market, if we have something clear trending, doesn't mean it's going to continue, but if we have something clear trending, the highest probability trades are with that trend. That's the first thing that I look for. The second thing I'm looking for was that now I'm looking for my setup within that clear trend. I completely overtraded, got my trading account frozen, PDA law, 90-day frozen account now. Yep. Same as me. I've had that a few times as well too, Justin. So don't feel bad about yourself, man. I think I've had two accounts actually shut down on me because they wouldn't allow me to trade anymore. It's like you're a lunatic. I like blew 300 grand or something. It's like, oh crap. That was a while ago now. It's like you're a lunatic, man. I'm not gonna let you keep trading. That was a long time ago. Yeah, so they completely shut my account out. They're like, man, you can't trade anymore. Thank you for the insight. No problem, Justin. If keep following YouTubers, you will never make money. You look douchey. Oh, Trump, my man. God, I love those trolls. How do you look, my man? I can't see you. You look like a piece of paper. How do I block your ass? I don't even know how to block your ass. I'll just leave you there. Oh, there we go. Gone. You're absolutely right. 100%. You're absolutely right. I put 100%. I paid the price by making trades to recover losses and overtrade making works. Lost 16% of an account. Yeah, I know, Arthur. I know, man. Just don't worry about it. I put him in timeout anyway. He's gone now. He's gone. Why don't you get a cash account to avoid PDE rule? Okay, you could do that. Are you prepared for the currency crisis looming? Who says there's going to be a currency crisis? Is that based on what you know that's going to happen or you think it's going to happen? And if so, when? Is it going to be now? Is it going to be this year? Is it going to be 2020? Is it going to be 21? Like, you never know if or when it's going to happen. So many, please, once again, do not be getting into something because you think there's going to be a crisis, so you want to benefit from the crisis and all that sort of stuff. It's just not the right way to go. It really isn't. So, all right, guys. Well, that's it for me today. I hope you enjoyed this live stream. Bit of a difference in the live stream today. I hope some of the things that I've talked about today have really helped you when it comes to your trading. You can do really well at trading, guys. One of the biggest things that stops you, just like AAA, is getting to something because you think something is going to happen. You never know exactly what's going to happen. You can never be 100% sure something's going to happen, because every time you are so sure that something's going to happen, I guarantee you everyone else is thinking the same way, and I guarantee you the market's going to do the exact opposite thing that you think it's going to happen. It's just the way the markets work. So if it's very visual that this is going to happen, it may happen. We may have a currency crisis, but don't ever get into something because you think it's going to happen. But John, you don't understand. It's definitely going to happen because of this and 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 this. Yeah. Okay. When is that going to happen though? Is it going to be this year? Is it going to be 2021? We don't know. You know what I mean? So be smart about the way that you're trading. All right, guys. Have a great day.